Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer joins me today to unpack the latest in the mining industry. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks, Ashni.
So there are huge advantages in South Africa modifying its integrated resource plan to focus its energy exclusively on solar, wind and storage.
I'm convinced by these calculations. In-depth calculations and studies show that what we should be pursuing is three letters, SWS. Solar, wind and storage, and they've got to go together. And if they go together well, and with the calculations that I've seen, we will be the best in the world. We'll be the most competitive in the world, because we're not greatest in the sun. There are others that are better. We're not greatest in wind, but if you put them together and you look at all the days of the year and you look at when you need energy most, when you need energy least, and you create a situation where your capacity matches when you need energy most, you get to a situation where you are so competitive that you end up with a sort of zero marginal cost of electricity for periods of the day, which can open up new industries like you've never seen. It can also give you the green hydrogen that you need. It can give you all these sort of perks that you want. Energy. You want those energy perks, you want the low-cost energy perks, you want that abundance. And also at the storage level, we don't have to store as much as other countries. We need 8 hours of storage. It's going to cover us if we set this up correctly. So I'm sold on going exclusively for SWS. And this will put South Africa in a new position. It will certainly help our economy. It will certainly help to reduce unemployment. It will certainly, help reduce the inequality and the poverty situation, which is so desperate to do here. And when you think, we've got the sun, we've got beautiful African sun, we've got beautiful African wind, and, the storage needs to be worked out. But we've also got a lot of storage possibilities. We've got storage even in our old mines, where we can use the water that having to be pumped out now to add to that. We've also got, places that have been there, storage schemes that can be given the clean energy so that they can then be ready to serve us, during peaks. And I think most of them have been built. I think Tubatsi hasn't been built, but most of them have been built. So really think about it now. South Africa should go exclusively for SWS because it's the cheapest and it is the morally correct way to go so that you are not contributing to climate change. But we still got this mix, and I think that that needs to be relooked at.
And talk to us about Hillside Aluminium, which could go green by 2030.
Hillside Aluminium is a very interesting thing to watch because they need so much electricity. Aluminium is really half electricity. And when we set that up, we didn't have the bauxite. So the Australians had the bauxite. We had the low-cost energy. And that's what made that Hillside go. The amount of energy it needs, is colossal. So it's always something you look at when we're looking at the energy situation. But they're in a fix because the energy they're receiving is the highest of high carbon. And also, when they make their aluminium, if it is carbon intensive, they're going to battle to sell it going, over time, because you can already see these border taxes. You can already see people favoring the green aluminium. You already see Mozambique being favored over us because of the situation. But there's an opportunity now, as we've seen, that if you go the SWS route, that is solar, wind and storage, correctly, they're talking about 3 US cents per kilowatt hour. Hopefully that will appeal to Hillside Aluminium because we want that to keep going. I mean, it's been a feature of our economy for some time now. I'd hate to see that have to close or have to change ownership or something like that. It needs to continue to go constantly. And I think now we have to start talking about it because they'll have to take a decision in 8 years' time. That's not a long way away. Immediately they're trying to improve their situation and obviously be more efficient on the energy front, but they need a big input daily, and it needs to be green and clean. And if it is, we can really be in a good position, and we can do it. So we should do it.
Lastly, Martin, talk to us about Australian investments in Orion's Prieska and also in West Wits Mining.
Now look at these two good projects coming up. Both of them, Orion Minerals at the Prieska project, and we see now West Wits Mining with the Witwatersrand Basin project. They are moving fast all of a sudden. You know, you find that with Orion at Prieska, they're looking at the copper price and they're saying, you know, we should get going on this, and we can get going. Let's just redo our sums. And then you're looking at West Wits here, just down the road, near Rudepoort, and they're saying, wow, we've got a fantastic surprise here. There's a whole lot of gold that we've only discovered as we got in the mine, because we couldn't go down this mine which had been dormant for so long because of safety reasons and ventilation reasons, so we didn't know what was there. As we get down, we find this treasure chest here that we can turn to account very, very quickly. So nice things like that are happening. But it would never happen without Australian money. I mean, this is unbelievable that the South Africans are not looking at the smaller advantages that we've got in the mining sector. The stock exchange is aligned to big assets, and you know, if it's not 30 billion rand, you members of ASISA can't sort of look at it. The rules are against that. But there are within these companies that are members of ASISA, which controls like 7 trillion to 9 trillion rands worth of savings, are big companies, you know, the Old Mutuals, Momentums, and about 15 others that have got private equity slices of those businesses. And I think those private equity slices need to be looking at backing exploration companies in South Africa. I mean, there are so many companies popping up in Australia. There are so many popping up in Canada. So many having to go to the UK for money. They can't get money here. Now, we should have a lot more of this. That Witwatersrand Basin was famous because it was the richest gold ore body in the history of the world. And there's still opportunities there second to none. Maybe some of them are deep, but you know, there's always solutions that can be found. And we see Australian money coming in and things being turned to account very quickly, and local people being helped. And what do we South Africans do? We should be trying to reduce the unemployment. There should be capital coming in there. Why do Australians have to see it from Australia and get it moving very, very well? And down in Prieska as well, they see it very, very well. Okay, O'Keefe is also coming up there within Orion, so it's going to be a nice copper and zinc competition there. They're both in the same group. Hopefully they'll get it out fast. All good for South Africa, all good for employment. And then at the West Wits, I mean, who has been appointed there as the contract miner? Not an Australian company, 100% black-owned company. Who is running Modi Mining? A Soweto-born mining engineer and his partner there. So they have got the contract to do the just about everything there. So look at the opportunities that it's creating. And to me, I think the Australians are very lucky to have a contract miner like that, who's going in conscientiously with a lot of experience doing this. Where did the father of Sam Molefe, who runs Modi, where did he work? He worked at Crown Mines, like next door, you know. So there's a revival possibility here for people who are born in Soweto are able to mine down the road and get things going, you know. And what about all the mine dumps we've got there? What about turning those to account? What are South Africans doing? You know, we're falling asleep. Let's grab the low-hanging fruit like the Australians are doing. So I'm grateful to this Australian money coming in, because it's spurting a lot of things. But we should also start looking at ourselves in the mirror, saying, what the devil are we doing, you know, to get going on this?
Thanks for speaking with us, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Sashni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on the local and global mining industries. And don't forget to listen to the audio version of our Mining Weekly daily email newsletter.